here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna paint a really cool Aurora Borealis nighttime seascape over some mountains. It's gonna be amazing. And what we need to do first is lay out our colors. We're gonna be using our Dioxazine purple, our Madder, that's where it was, our Madder Carmine from the Meeden set, then our Prussian blue, Alizarin crimson, midnight black, and titanium white, all from the Bob Ross set. So Dioxazine purple, Gamblin, Meeden, Bob Ross set, okay? You don't have to have the exact same colors every time we do this. Like just whatever you have works fine. This Madder Carmine is very much like a crimson, but it's much more vibrant and it runs further, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our first little guy and we're gonna pop in a stripe, just like that. Spreading it out, letting it extend from its normal thing, right? It's not just one stripe of paint and then you leave it. You gotta blend that sucker out. Right? So you're making it softer as it goes further away from your initial contact point. We're gonna come back here again, grab a little bit more, and let's drop down another little stripey poo, which doesn't have to be perfect. It's not a straight anything, right? If you have it all weird in it, it's fine, whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? Then we're gonna do one more, little small guy, right down here where he's gonna sort of connect. Right, so we'll just have a couple little stripes, 3 little stripes of color out on our canvas. Then we're gonna come down. You have to imagine, because you haven't put it out there yet, but you gotta imagine, there we go. Our back ocean has to be a different color. So let's leave a little disconnect in there and let's put in the eye of our wave, not letting it get too far across the canvas, right? If that's where your eye is, that's where it should stay. That will leave us a lot of room to crash down with waves before we get to the other side of the canvas. So leave a gap there. It doesn't have to be super thick or whatever. Then again, we're gonna leave another little 2-inch gap, just the size of the brush. So by the time we get down here, right, we'll have that same gap, but we're gonna be working at a downward angle. So if we follow that angle up here, that means we need to start up there and work down and work down and work down, just literally horizontal, except we're getting lower and lower and lower, making this very slight downward angle like that. Okay, and then we're gonna leave a space underneath that guy. Actually, yeah, let's leave a space. Let's leave a space underneath him. We'll pop in a little bit more. Again, just another little section of color that we will then go back and brighten up. Now, I usually do this off screen and I have it ready for us by the time that we are ready to paint, but a lot of people have been asking recently, how do you do the setup bit? What are you doing? How are you doing it? So you can see our stripes, right? 3 going that way, 3 going this way. So they almost come and meet and go down, right? These little stripy bits. They don't need to connect. Everywhere that's not stripy, as of right now, we're gonna cover with our Dioxazine purple right on top of the brush. Now, if you put on too much purple, it will be too crazily thick, and then our white paint will never have a chance to be white because it's going to want to mix in with all these darker colors. So don't lay them on too heavily. I found that out in a class that we did in SELA. We're going back to SELA very soon, a couple, like maybe 10 days away. We're going to be teaching classes up in Washington again. Paint with Josh on the move. Just going to different studios. I would love, literally, I would love to travel and just do classes, you know what I mean? Like go out, borrow someone's studio for a little bit, teach the classes in that area. Remember back in here, a little bit of purple, and don't add too much. If it's too much, push it, stretch it out. Don't cover over our eye though. I would love to do that. So if you guys know anybody who teaches in the Bob Ross style in your neighborhood or your town, and you're like, hey, go ask them. Like, hey, can Paint with Josh come here and teach us a class? Have them contact me, or you contact me. You set it all up and I'll be there, right? Wherever it is. I will try to be there. And if there's students, I will be there. A little bit of our purple color, mixing it in with that crimson color, right? Letting it fade down, mixing over that red. And then we'll do the last little section down at the bottom with our purple too. And then we'll be able to actually see some colors. I mean, you can see the red stuff. It's kind of hard to see the purple though, right? Very, very, very dark purple color. Dioxazine purple is its color title, and it's from the Gamblin 1980 brand. Now, I did this painting earlier today in class, but with teal and purple. So if tealy purple is your thing, be sure to go over to PaintWithJosh.com and just scroll down one thing. Like the very first thing you'll see is this painting. And if you scroll one down, that'll be the next painting. There's only one of them. Get all that color out, and now we have, everywhere that's not red has purple paint on it, right? So when we go across it with our white paint, it's going to interact with those colors and bring them out to play, right? Now, we can do our auroras in all sorts of different shapes, or however you do them, right? Just do it like this, right? If you plan on making your auroras come down this way, then lay your stripes out that way. If you want your auroras to come down the other way, then lay your stripes out kind of crisscrossing however you want your aurora to be. All right, we're gonna take a little of our white, we're gonna wiggle it down. You guys are gonna check in, tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? Dude, I mean, this is a big paint, it's a big canvas, right? But do you think we could finish in under half hour if I really tried? Like the other one we shot for 24 minutes. This one's a little bit bigger. Just do you think it's possible to do this whole painting in under a half hour? And if enough of you guys think so, I will literally try. I will try to do it in under 30 minutes from when we actually put paint on the canvas. But you tell me. It's possible. It's possible. Mountain Valley with Aurora and a campfire. That's a cool idea, but we've already got our idea planned out for today. We've got it. Let's go, they say. Thanks, Rife Creations. Appreciate you, Phyllis. All things are possible, they say. All right, should we really try to do it? Because I'll have to cut all this bit out of the video when we actually go to post it. But should we try? Should we try, or should we take our time? It's up to us, really. We've got like 50 more minutes left of the show. So let's see not how quickly we can do it, but if we can do it quickly, okay? So we're gonna take our titanium white. Somebody start the clock literally now, okay? We're gonna come down here. Let's wiggle these guys in. You can see the white paint interacting with all the other color. We come up here, we grab it, and we slide it up. And the more pressure that you're pushing on it, the more it's going to interact with the colors below, right? The more white paint that you have that doesn't get pushed, the more bright it will be, right? All we're doing is sliding up through those guys, or cutting down through the colors, trying to deposit as much of our white paint on our canvas as we possibly can. If you need them to grow a little bit extra, just mush the brush against the canvas like this, popping it up, popping it up, popping it up. Now, come over here, and in less than a minute, we've already painted 2 of our 3 Aurora stripes. Remember to go straight up. Drag it up, drag it up, drag it up. And all those little colors intermixing and just going wildly crazy, boy. We'll come down here with our last little guy. Much flatter. Remember, we don't want to go down past where our back horizon is. Leave yourself a little bit of room underneath or on top of that eye. Pop in a little excess paint, come back in here, and in 1 minute, we've done our whole sky, literally done the entire sky. As much as you want, as little as you want. Remember, there's gonna be a big, giant old mountain in here, which we're gonna make out of our black, crimson, and blue paint. We're gonna mix it down into this deep darkness. The deepest dark color you'll ever see. And it's gonna be hard to see against our black canvas, which is why we need to project up, right up into those auroras, right? I never like it to be just really straight, so let's make it all rounded like. There we go. Really mush on this paint, covering up all those little excess deals. Doesn't have to be enormous, right? Maybe there's a little hump over there too, why not? Literally scrape and remove the paint, and I'll show you just how much comes off. Look at that, that's enough to do a whole nother mountain, quite honestly. Remember, we need to scrape it so it doesn't grow too far, okay? Now let's come in here. Wasting time. Come down here, slide this mountain down. Boom, boom, boom. Just about half its peak. Come up, grab the other half, slide it off the back. All we're trying to do is black out the section in the background. We don't need it to be too big. Doesn't need to grow too far. Let's take a bit of our titanium white, a little bit of our purple color, mix it up down here, a little bit more purpley. There we go. Nope, more purpley. There we go. There, that's better. See how the white paint sticks down around the bottom? Now that we've got our little purple pile, let's make our white. So we're gonna grab 2 times the amount of white, 1 little scrape of our purple. Let's mix it up right next door. So you can see it does have a little purple twinge to it. It's not just pure titanium white. Okay, now we're gonna do our shadows first, meaning we're gonna come in here, we're gonna scrape up the color. Let's come off the backside and just let it whip. Just how far can it go? How quick can you do it, Josh? taking it down the mountainside. Maybe this guy's got a little touch of color right back in there. Just a little shadow. All right, come in again, same roll of paint, just with white this time. Trying to drag it down, let it deposit as thick as you want, but we're just floating the blade, right? We're not touching it, we're not pushing on it, we're not doing anything, we're just floating out there, like literally floating it, which will allow it to break. It'll be thicker in some spots, and as the paint falls off the blade, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. Now, do you want to project something over into your shadows? Do it horizontally, or at least much less of a diagonal angle, okay? Come underneath that guy with a bit more of our purple, and let's shape where we want him to be. Slide it down, get a little projection out there, looking really cool, isn't it? Let's take our 2-inch brush very lightly along the edge, slide it, slide it, slide it in the direction, the opposite direction of which way we were going. So off the back side, we gotta turn it. We gotta go like this. And we're not pushing on it so hard to take away any details. We're just pushing on it a little bit. Okay, now let's come in, let's grab another brush, and because we don't have a lot of room down here, we don't really need this paint to go too far. So if we just kind of tap at it, leading it out to the side, it's gonna take away some of those real heavy details that are on the bottom and leave us with this little bit of mist. Just a little misty action bit, kind of at the back of our little mountain area, right? So then we'll come in 4 minutes. We've painted the sky and the mountain. Tell me I can't do it in a half hour. Come over here. Now we're already on to our ocean scene. We'll come back, we'll scrape in, scrape in, scrape in. Little bit, little triangle, okay? We're gonna come back with our next one, but it must cut through on a different angle, and then again, scrape back right here. Little things, little things, little things. Right? Now, let's leave a disconnection of our finger up here. Let's turn the blade so we're just focusing on this angle, which is very much like this. It's at a downward angle. And here's what we found out in class earlier today. If you have struggling with it, just tap it in about 2.5 times, turn it, tap it up about 2.5 times, create your little V shape like that. Then, with whatever's there, right? More pressure will drag it further, less pressure won't. Take this guy, go off to the side. You see the different angle changes? One is going down here, one is going over here. Down here, over there. It's gonna make it look different. Look at that. Seriously, 5 minutes? 5 minutes of painting, and we've done this already, right? You don't have to connect these guys. We don't have to do anything else except for add a little touch of our titanium white into the eye of the wave, keeping a separate space and making him look like a little swimmer. Little bulbous on the one side, little tail out the other, okay? Then we'll come in with our 1-inch brush. We'll take it, we'll mix it very lightly, and as it goes, watch how I turn the brush up this way. Just kind of push some of that brightness right up underneath, just right underneath that dark separator. Blend it out. A lot of times it never goes perfectly on the first one, so I come back with a little bit more brightness, especially right in that bigger area where it peaks over. Take it, blend it. That way we got 2 different colors, couple different colors in there, right? Now we'll go into our liquid white. Come back here. You guys check in. Tell me where you're watching from. Seriously, we've done 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes, this much of the painting so far. We're gonna come back up here, tap along the top edge, just right there, just to have a few little weird, little brighter little bits. Then we're gonna turn our brush like this and hold it flat like a plate. Imagine if I had all my fruit on top of my plate and then I tilted it towards the canvas, just a little, just enough so my fruit rolls off, right? Then we're gonna go very small taps. Bang. Now we're gonna cut through this area underneath, in between. See, we've got dark separators. Perfection. Yeah, guys. Now, as we smack up this way, you can go as high as you want. Literally, it could be the same height. It could be a little bit higher. Just don't have it be lower. This side's already hit and smacked. And the same thing. We're making the same diagonal little check mark of an angle we did back here, okay? It's gonna help. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it's gonna help if you have some of this paint over there crashing down. Okay? Now, obviously it looks a little strange, so we come in here and we mix it up. And if we're very lightly, and I'm talking about so light and not just steamrolling it from one side to the other, right? We're taking it and mixing it, and then jumping up here and mixing it, going over there, coming back over there, mixing it down over here, up here, back here, over there, over there. So it's not a perfect, look at that color. My goodness. You don't want it to just push and look exactly the same across the whole thing. A little bit more liquid white, a little bit more titanium white. Make sure it's goopy. And as we come up here, we're gonna do the same thing but less times. right? It's not so filled in as it was before. I'm leaving gaps in there for a certain reason, because when we come mix it up, we want it to be brighter in some spaces, darker in other spaces, and we don't want to go over it as many times as we did the first time. Otherwise, it's all going to look the same. So leave some unpainted bits. Leave some things that just literally got one swipe over, right? Some untouched, some everything. Very cool. Time to put the palette down. Let's go over here. We're going to grab a little bit of our liquid white. Again, very small amount. Doesn't have to be too much, but you want the pure liquid white. We're going to go off the back side of the blade. So if you're a lefty, it would be the front side of your blade. Back side for a right-handed person. Get the majority of the paint off. Let's come in here like this. Let's turn it and then flick. Now, depending on how much you flick or how wet the paint is, it will fly out onto the canvas, up into the sky, into the mountain, everywhere. All these little flicks, little specks, little things are in your control. You can have them be as bright, as thick, as close, as crazily covered as you want it to be. Don't worry about anything that happens down here. But look at that, you guys. Quite honestly, are you serious? We're gonna come back in here with our liquid white and titanium white mix, just like this. Cut out a little bit, and you see it's very runny and very goopy compared to its normal state. We're gonna pick a spot right here, go all the way across, straight line, start right there. Pop it in, cut it down. You can see why we need that downward angle on our little guy back here. All right, the more that we go, the more we go down, down, down. Don't make it crazy, right? Make it the same angle as this. So they're perpendicular lines. You know what that means? It's like a train, you know, train tracks? Perpendicular. They run the same way straight forever, right? So make that happen with your waves, come back in, and then just add a little bit of excess stuff. Just mushing it on if you have to, right? Filling in some of those colors, just letting it mix this, that, and the other. Now check in, tell me where you're watching from, and then you got a really cool looking bit of wave right here, my friends, my guys and gals and painting pals. Look at it. And again, I'm going to show you just real quick, even though it's going to cut into my time, right? That line and this line, wherever our water is, should be very straight. This one's at a little downward angle, so I could, in theory, raise it up a little bit higher. There we go. There, right there. So across from that side to this side, pretty straight line, and there's our bits of water that you can see, right? So that's going to keep your perspective looking fabulous, guys. Quite honestly fabulous. Now this takes a little bit more time to do it this way, but it also makes it look really cool. We're going to take our liner brush, load it full of liquid white, and then just start wiggling it. But you got to go back before you go up, right? You can't just get in there and immediately start launching up without going back first. And again, all this stuff is supposed to look weird. We're going to brush it out, right? All we need, a couple little things. These guys get flatter and flatter and flatter as we go. And like I said, this does take a little bit longer time-wise, but you get a cool little effect by the time you get back in there, right? Throw them in there, take our fan brush. Because it's liquid white, it wants to blend away very easily, right? So we'll get very flatter as we go out. Those cool little things, bang, bang, boom. All those little details, little bits of foam, little bits of whatever, growing up inside the wave. Very cool. Let's do one more, right? We haven't done one like this for a minute. Maybe we'll add in a little rock over here. We'll take our liquid white, titanium white mix. Again, it's about 90% liquid white, 10% titanium white. Let's pop in a whole nother thing down here. It's got to be brighter than our wave is back there, and then cut down at that angle, right? And then from the bottom of that guy, we're going to take it and cut in a whole new little line, which again is going down at an angle, okay? Very slight little angle. Okay. Now, on this guy, why don't we just take these ones and we'll just slide it back with our fan brush. It'll be a different look to our water, right? We don't want to have too much paint on the brush, and we don't want the paint to grow too far. And as you can see, as we go down, we're literally pulling directly horizontal. Each one of these guys is a horizontal line just stacked on top of itself. Don't try to pull it this way. Don't try to angle it. Don't try to do that. Straight sideways. I'm telling you, I've done too many of these to know what happens when you don't go straight sideways, okay? This little guy on the side, we're just gonna mix up his base, just the base. There, just a little, so we got that water over there, okay? Now, underneath our little basist, our little guy back here, we're going to take all of our liquidy white, titanium white mix, And guys, we've been doing this painting for 13 minutes and it's got a mountain in it. 13 minutes, mountain seascape, and we're already almost done, my lord. We're gonna come in underneath here, take this guy, more down here, less as you go, and again, working up at that angle, I'll show you. So in fact, we do want more. The only way you can mess this part up with our liquid white and titanium white mix, the same 90% mix we've been doing this whole time, 90-10, 90-10, 90-10. Right, push it down. You cannot mess this part up, you guys. Unless you let the two colors touch. All right, if we have these two bits of white paint up here touching, right, then we're gonna not understand what's going on when we go to do our next step. A little bit more, you can have it as bright as you want, as dark as you want. You can see we're working at that downward angle again. Why don't we come over, Shaw? We're gonna come over here and let's just see. Remember, you guys can grab this painting. It's available over on my store. You can get it, pull it down, pull it down, pull it down, pull it down, pull it down very lightly, 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 right? Again, longer strokes over here so we keep that maintained angle. And then this is one I always ask, does this look like sand, guys? I have to ask, right? We went 26.8 million views on that video. And people expect me not to ask if this looks like sand. What do you think? Does that look like sand? Tell me yes or no in the comments below. Man, this one is fantastic. Yeah, guys. Nope, we're not doing brown for sand on this one. We're doing purpley pinky sand. You can do whatever you want, right? It's up to you. And I'm thinking a lot of you are telling me it looks like a waterfall. So what if we did this and we pulled all these little horizontal or vertical streaks, turned them into little horizontally streaks, blended them and blended them and blended them and blended them. Trying not to get too much paint over here in the bottom corner, right? Oh, guys. That's cool. You see that purple stripe and then our pink stripe, and they're both lit up. So when we drag back across this guy with our next little layer, it's gonna look cool. I can't believe we've done this in 15 minutes. Let's take our dark paint. Let's not slow down. Let's come out here and just start making little steps down. Just like that, little step down. And whatever shape it is on the way down, it must also follow that same shape in the sand, right? Making a triangle. It's going to help. I'm telling you, it's going to help you with your perspective. So just trust, okay? Now, once we mush them all down flat, why don't we take these top guys and just cut in a bit where we're gonna have this flat top and then a bit of vertical pull down, okay? Same thing, we're gonna take our little brush, pull it down at that angle. So we're working at a slight downward angle here since we have a slight downward angle there. Take these guys, pull them back if you can. Otherwise your darkness is really gonna get out into your bright sand. Right there, that's all you need. A little patch, a little bit of different color, okay? Now we're gonna come back with our liquid white, titanium white mix. Again, it's about 90, probably about 95 to 5 now. Okay, we're gonna come out here along wherever our other guy was over here, right? Actually, it's this one. So straight across, that should be where our water comes in. And then we're kind of matching that downward angle. Remember, the liquid white does not want to run very far, so you got to have enough of it on the blade, enough push, enough pressure to deposit it all, right? However we want it. It doesn't even have to match, literally. You can come down, go over here. It doesn't have to be a matching angle like our water out there. This is the stuff that came up and got stuck right onto our sand. Pop a little bit right there on the edge, and I'll show you why in a second. Make sure that you have that little ridge on the front. Then you can literally dump off things where you want them to be, or take your brush, right? This is why we put that little chunk up there, just to grab it and slide it back just a little bit. And again, horizontal drags. Don't try to go at a diagonal, okay? Horizontal, horizontal, horizontal. Don't change it. Don't pull it in a different way. Right? Boop, just like that. Oh, look at it, you guys. Seriously, 17 minutes for a mountain seascape. Let's bring, shit, that looks cool. We need to fix this thing real quick though. It's not bright enough back here. We need to have that brightness go almost up and touch. And you can see, again, we're pulling horizontal. So if I need it back there, I need to pull it from here so it stays a straight line. I don't want to start going at angles or doing anything. Shrink that little dark separation back. Then we're gonna grab this little guy and bring him down. Just a little bit of liquid white, using the paint that's there, right? Bring it down on top of that shadow so it's not so big. And all of a sudden, you're gonna have this little lip of water with a little teeny tiny little shadow underneath it. Right? Doesn't have to be perfect. And if it comes out onto your sand, that's okay, right? It comes down there, perfectly fine. This is the closest part to us, so we should be able to see a little bit more of our details if we're way over here. All right, look at that for a painting, you guys. Seriously, 18 minutes. Let's go. Let's do it. I told you, I got so much time. I gave myself a half hour to do this, and we've done it in 18 minutes, at least once we had the canvas prepped and ready. I know we got to do our rock still. We did this already, so let's back up from our canvas, and let's start sprinkling out little white specks. Little guys, remember, if you have too much paint on the brush or on your blade, it's going to throw too big of specks, right? Sometimes I like some bigger ones I have out there. They look like little seashells and such. Little things. Don't worry about getting them in your watery retraction area. They could look like stars. It could look like it's reflecting this bit of water. Even if I added more over there, right? Kind of looks like it's reflecting those bits on that very shiny surface. If I wanted it brighter in certain places, I can make it brighter in certain places. Okay? It's all up to me every single time. How come when I look over there, it looks like a rounded, where is that? What is that? Oh, it's that. Gotcha. It's a bit of, get a spray. Okay, very cool. And then the more that you throw out here in your sand, right, the brighter it will be, but you'll have those little reflective pieces in there. Now, let's just sign it just to be cool, right? We did the whole painting. We're gonna do our rock too, but since I got this brush in my hand, let's come back here and just go caw, just crazy boy. Pink. Little birds flying out there. Nobody's even expecting them to be there, right? And I know birds don't fly at night, but my birds do. They're part of my signature. Come down here. We're not finished just yet. We still got loads of time. We're gonna come in and take our crimson and white. We'll make a little, oh shit, that got into the green color. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. I try not to swear during the videos. Come over here with our crimson and a little touch of our white. We're gonna make like some pinkish reddish highlight there. There, too much white. And it's gonna be way too pink, right? Take some of that red, let's just deposit it flat along the top, letting it grip on to whatever paint is there, right? Sometimes you can tap it, just literally tap it in where you wanna have that color. It doesn't all have to be the same amount of brightness, and you can even tap down here and have a whole nother piece of it catching some light, right? Without even doing anything. We didn't do nothing. We did literally nothing. Call it good. 20 minutes for a mountain seascape. Oh my goodness. I am flabbergasted. All right, let's take a little bit of our dioxazine purple. We're still on the clock. A little dioxazine purple and the odorless minerals. Actually, no, not the purple, excuse me. We're gonna take our crimson. We have a crimson eye, then we're gonna need our madder carmine or crimson-y paint. All right, onto the brush. We're gonna come down right from here. A couple little things. Bam. Little details that are in there. Little veins in our eye or whatever. You don't need to have too many. Look at that though, seriously. And still within 20 minutes. It still has not changed. Okay, 21-minute painting. Wow. Wow. Little thing right there. Okay. Showed you could do it in 21 minutes. I don't want to hear you don't got time. Okay, we're going to come back in here. I'm just going to add a couple more little pieces of bright white just to have for my sea foam and stuff, you know what I mean? And it's just our pure titanium white. It's going to mix in. It's going to get crazy. It's going to start to climb. We just need it to be a brighter white down along the bottom than it is along the top. That way it'll look like it's casting a shadow. Holy shaving cream. Call it done. That's it. 22 minutes.